So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the channel. As always, thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a few. My name is Rich, and I'm the channel host, and here we talk a lot about drones. We also talk about photography and digital tech, and sometimes travel. This channel used to be all about Airstream travel, but as we've been growing the business in doing drone work, we've shifted gears to the drones. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about building your own drone business. Specifically, I want to talk about doing construction progression reporting and some of the techniques that I've started employing for my new clients. So with that said, we're going to jump right into it in just a moment. All right, everybody, welcome back from that clip. So over the weekend, I went out to a client job site again, where I'm doing construction progression reporting for them. And I wanted to play around with a concept. I've actually been playing around with several concepts. I guess, actually, let's dial it back. Before we start talking about where I went and what I did, let's talk about construction progression reporting. So the idea of this is simply to actually show the progress of a construction site over time. Drones give us a number of ways to do that. We can fly the site over and over again shooting video. We can fly the site over and over again shooting still images and actually capturing images at the same locations time and time again. Over time, that builds up an inventory of images from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 4, and you can actually show a progression of the changes in the buildings, the changes in the landscape. And this builds up to demonstrate to folks who are, let's say, investors with these construction projects. It shows them very quickly and very easily that progress is being made on the site, that the construction project is on schedule, those types of things. Now, normally what a lot of people do when they do their construction progression reporting for clients is they actually will upload all the files. So the video files captured, the still images captured, and any other requirements that the clients may have, maybe an ortho mosaic map, or maybe a 3D model of the site, who knows? But normally what people do is they'll find a sharing solution where they will send all of these finalized edited files to their clients, and then it's up to the clients to put it together in some kind of regular report for their investors. Last week, I decided, hey, I've got ArizonaDrone.net here. It's one of my advertising platforms for my business. I can utilize that and actually create private pages for my clients where a presentation is basically put together for them, a simple one that then they can email out to their investors, to any of the principals in the project, etc. So last week, I started building a new page for one of my new clients. And actually, I built a second page for a second new client on Friday as well. So one client is a larger construction group. The other client is actually a person who's building a single home, a single custom home, and they're moving to the Prescott area in the near future. So now we can get back to over the weekend. So over the weekend, I went back to my primary job site that we've just recently started into. Now, this job, the clients requested only one progression flight per month. So at the end of each month, they want to see where the project is at. My curiosity was very simple. I've gone out to the site 3 weeks in a row now, and the site is coming together extremely fast. And by extremely fast, I mean 1 week there's concrete, the next week there's structure, the next week the rooftops are closed in, and the site's getting cleaned up. So it's moving very quickly. But these particular clients said they only wanted something once a month because that would be good enough right now for their purposes. And they're trying out drone progression reports for the first time ever. So this is an experiment for them, and this is an experiment for their investors. But I decided, I said, I want to go out there and just get another look at the property in a very simple way. And that's with an orthomosaic model. So I'm just moving over here to the screen, and I just want to show you this. So this is on my Arizona drone website. This is not publicly accessible, so sorry. A lot of this stuff I'm actually locking down with passwords for the clients as things are changing, but I'll show you what I can. So this is a very, very simple thing right here. So I've got a slider on an image, and there are multiple tools out there that will do this for you. So you can do a shop around and look for different slideshows and different slideshow options. So this particular one was done with a simple WordPress plugin. But what we're looking at here is my July 20th flight for this particular client. They're doing multifamily housing here in Prescott. So I'm not quite certain if it's apartment complexes or condos, but I do know that it is multifamily housing. Now, what you're seeing is from my flight on July 20th, where I did an orthomosaic, I used Maps Made Easy. This was only a couple of passes. So this orthomosaic took about 11 minutes to capture all the still images. Now we can see pretty well what's going on here. We've got an area for concrete slabs to be going in. It's all prepped, the rebar's in there. On the left-hand side, we've got the concrete slab completely finished, and there are actually pallets sitting out on it. The main 3-story building has its trusses up, but it doesn't have roofing material or anything closed up on it. And then the 2-story building next to it, similar situation. We've got some nearly closed up buildings. Upper left, yeah, that's pretty well closed up. Center's looking closed up as well. And the right-hand side smaller building here didn't have the roof quite finished at the time that I flew it on July 20th. Now, let's grab that slider real quick and let's see the difference. So we repeated the same exact flight. I didn't perfectly crop this, but that's okay because it's so darn close that it's not hurting my feelings, and I don't think it'll be disjointed to people viewing this. So looking at the same model now, left-hand side where the concrete pads are, we've got structure, and we've got it closed up already. Pretty amazing. The center building, which is 3 stories, that roof is in there now. And then the building on the right front here is looking fairly well closed up. And that area where they were going to be pouring concrete on the previous week, there is concrete down on the ground now. The back side of the project area is looking nice and tight and cleaned up. So I think they might be focusing more on the main larger buildings right now. And but as you can see, a lot of progress in a single week. So since we're doing a once a month progression story for this particular client, they're going to see changes, leaps and bounds, since it's month to month, because as we see here, week to week, some amazing things are happening. So the next time that I actually do a video and still photography flight for this site, that will be in August, and they'll probably be a long way into this project. So it's going to be interesting to see the response of the clients, knowing that maybe this should be shot more often. But since this is a test for them, this is the first go around, I understand why they're limiting it. But I think they'll be pretty impressed with the progress that they're making and pretty impressed with what they can show to their clients. So these password protected web pages for the clients are a great and fast way for them to access all of the data that I've collected rather than assembling their own giant report and presentation. So if they want to bring this into a meeting, they can. If investors just want to see what's going on right now, they can email them the page link and they can email them the password. So let's take a look at another one. So I'm just pulling up another one, and this is actually a different client, and this was my Friday flight. So we did a 3D model for them just to show off the property. I bet you can tell right away where they purchased this empty area right here, because there are other houses around it. So what these clients wanted, this is a private individual and his family who's going to be building a new home in the Prescott area, and they wanted to be able to supply their architect with some ideas about the location. So first we did a quick 3D model for them, and that model is available to them through Sketchfab. The next part, which was important because they're all about the views where they're going in. Right up here, that's Granite Mountain in Prescott, Arizona. And then we can actually start rotating around the property. So what I had done is I had actually moved the drone to the center of the property. I set it at 47 feet above ground level, and I had it do a 360-degree panoramic. So now this will give their architects some good ideas about where they might want to focus on the views, where those windows are going, and all those types of things. So they were very interested in that 360 model to give to their architect, because the architect is out on the East Coast. And so he's going to be doing the job work for them from the East Coast. So they wanted to supply him with some interesting information. We also supplied the still images. And you can see actually here, the family is out here at the location. They came out to see the flights and talk to me about what they were looking for. And so in looking at this property, we start getting some ideas. I actually had moved all around the property to give them different viewpoints, and they were very happy with this final layout. Finally, we did a simple orthomosaic and a digital elevation model for them, just so they'd have an idea, during monsoon season, is their property going to get heavily flooded or anything? And they can actually discuss that with their architect. And also they will be hiring a land survey engineer to go through and check out all the property boundaries for them. So this is another quick way. This customer was very excited to be able to access some of their images. Now, while we did this, we also did upload to Dropbox for each of the clients. So they have the full video files. They have the full still photography files. They've got it all on hand. So they can access the full resolution images for the architect or for whoever's looking at this. And they also can access all of the video shot on the site. So the web pages are a quick way for them to circulate this. In the case of these folks, the family, they've already shared it out with friends and family. I looked at the statistics over the weekend, and there was 30-something visits to their private web page. So I'm just looking at one more, and here we've got some job site stills, and that's the construction project. These shots were done on July 20th. You can see that concrete slab that now has a building on it. And you also know that that center building right there was actually has its roof on it now. The trusses went up and the roof has been closed up. But so you can get some really good ideas of what's happening with the site. Once again, I said that I shot this one on July 20th. That new ortho mosaic I showed you was from July 27th. We also have the straight up ortho mosaic from that first flight, just as kind of a grab you image, and I can actually change things around on here. And we are still working out the final layout for this particular client. We also did some 360 pano demos for them, and they've decided not to go with the 360 panos. They feel that they've got enough information with the ortho, with the flight, which we also included their flight for them right here. So with the ortho, with the flight, and with the stills, they feel they have more than enough content for their investors and other folks who are looking at this. So I'll be taking these 360s down. I had actually done this as a demo for them, and while they liked them, they didn't want to overwhelm folks who were visiting the site as well. They just want to get it up there that, yes, progress is being made. Here's the changes month to month, and then they're going to move on from there. So this is becoming a big part of my business, so building my drone business. I've been very interested in focusing on the construction market because I really enjoy doing this progression work. I enjoy doing the modeling as well. So between the video from the flights and the modeling, I've been having a lot of fun with this, and it appeals to me and what I want to do for my business. Of course, we will do real estate photography, and we'll do other drone work as well. But I am very aggressively working on the construction market because this is where I can show people a lot of change. I can show them very quickly the value of doing this progression reporting either week to week or month to month. So hopefully this client is going to enjoy this, and I know that they've already responded on the new web page layout and they like it very much. So this is going in the right direction. So when you're thinking about building your drone business, it's more than just owning a drone. It's more than just having enough batteries and having your Part 107. You also have to think about the ways that you're going to be delivering some of this content to your clients. So if you're doing real estate work, you're probably uploading photos to Dropbox, and then the realtor is handling the MLS listing. If you're doing video for them, they might be placing the video somewhere else. Those 360 panos, those might not work on some real estate sites. So you have to start thinking about what you're going to be doing for delivery as well, and that's going to be a big part of it. And just to let you know, I'm going to start regularly doing some series on building your drone business. So today, I'm showing you some of the things that I'm personally doing for my drone business. Might give you some ideas for your drone business. But we're going to talk about the basics of building your drone business as well, because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. I'm getting a lot of private phone calls through arizonadrone.net from some of the viewers, and I don't mind at all. So guys, you all know who you are, and I've had conversations with you over the weekends, and I absolutely don't mind. You're always apologizing when you give a call. I'm very happy to help. And I'm happy that you're enjoying the channel. So for everyone else, I'm getting a lot of private questions in email and via phone calls. Other people trying to start their businesses. So let me know what subjects you'd like to talk about in building your drone business, and we can talk about those. But today, I just wanted to show you what I've been doing and also give you some ideas, because come on, that is really compelling up there on the screen. I mean, we have this week, July 27th, and we have last week, July 20th. This project is coming along in an amazingly quick fashion, but that's something that happens in Arizona. Most of the builders here, especially in northern Arizona, can work year-round. We've got those milder temperatures. Those poor folks down in Phoenix right now doing construction, miserably hot. I don't know if they work full days or just the mornings, but I definitely wouldn't want to be down there right now. As the temperatures cool down there, they can get a lot done. So construction here is very different from where I used to live in New England. In New England, projects always seem to take a little longer, and that's because they had to cope with a lot of different weather. Here in Arizona, it's pretty cut and dry for these guys, and a lot of them can do year-round work, which is amazing because it means that their projects come together very quickly, as you're seeing on screen. So I hope you have a couple of good ideas. If you have questions about the different applications, the different plugins that I'm using, feel free to ask about that as well. And keep in mind, when you start building your own drone business, you've got to reach out to people. You're probably going to build a website. So you're going to need some web building background. You're going to need to be able to relay and supply this data to your clients in a variety of ways. Dropbox is a great way to do it. Those Google Share Drives are a great way to do it. But if you really want to impress your clients and go a little above and beyond, developing their own progression web page on your site that's password protected for them, that's available for their investors, is a fantastic way to really wow them and also give them really meaningful content in a very compact space. Very quickly, they get to see everything that's been going on there. All right, everyone, I have to hop off for the morning because I actually do have a lot of client work this week. Tomorrow morning, I'm going out for a fun flight with another drone pilot here in Prescott, so maybe some of that video will hit here later in the week. I hope you have an awesome start to your week, and we'll see you again real soon here on the channel. Fly safe, everybody.